Hey, I'm Kevin, and welcome to another Let's Play series, and this one is dedicated to the wonderful baritone. In this series, we're going to be checking out several different finger-picking patterns and working on different chord progressions at various degrees of difficulty. This is going to be a lot of fun, and I really hope this levels up your finger-picking game. Get yourself tuned up, and let's get to it. Speaking of getting tuned up, I'm excited to let you guys know that I have partnered with Peterson Strobe Tuners, a local Chicago company that makes an excellent tuner. I've been using these products for 10 plus years in the form of a stomp box tuner, and now I'm super excited because they have this really cool clip-on tuner. It's very durable. It's the most accurate tuner on the market. So if you really want to make sure that you're in tune, you're in the studio, or you just really want to have precise tuning, Peterson is the way to go. I'm going to leave a link in the description. You can go over to their site, check one of their tuners out. If you sign up for their newsletter, you'll get a 10% off promo code. Also super cool. So check them out, Peterson Strobe Tuners. I'm excited to be working with this company, and I'll be using their tuners in all my future videos. Before we start fingerpicking, I wanted to make a little mention of the AllForUKe website, where we'll be hosting the rest of this series, which will also include practice tracks, PDFs, and a bunch of different chord progressions with metronome markings to help you work on these exercises that we'll be doing in the series. I know this is going to be beneficial to you and help you level up your playing, so jump over to this website right here on the screen. Yeah, and let's get to it. Before we start fingerpicking, let's make sure that we have a good foundation. So the fundamentals of fingerpicking start with making sure that our instrument's at a nice 45-degree angle here. We want to make sure that our fretting hand is nice and loose here. We don't want to be resting on our leg. We want to make sure that our arm is free swinging. And then here with our fingerpicking hand, I like to get myself in position by covering the sound hole, creating a nice brace up against my body by putting my forearm on the instrument and holding it up against my body. So you want as little moving pieces as possible when you're finger picking because you have many moving pieces. So I also start by taking my pinky and resting it on the base of the instrument right below the sound hole. And this puts my hand in a nice position here with a flat wrist and flat hand so that I'm in good position to pull my fingers in as I finger pick. Throughout this series, we'll be referring to the finger names as thumb as P, index as I, middle as M, and our ring finger as A. So that'll be consistent throughout every finger picking pattern that we use in this series. So now let's jump into our first pattern. Our first finger picking pattern is the Travis pattern. So let's get set up to play this pattern. I start by resting my thumb on top of the G string. My index is underneath the B string, it's B as in boy, and my middle finger is underneath the E string. So that's the setup I want to have, and again, my pinky is resting here on the base of the instrument. So the pattern starts with plucking down with our thumb, then up with our index on the B string, and then we move our thumb up to the D string, we pluck that down, and then we pull up on the E string with our middle finger. So basically you can think about it as going inside, outside. So I go thumb, index, thumb, middle. So let's just try that with open strings. We're going to completely focus here on our picking hand. And as you do this, feel free to look down at your picking hand, and you really want to make sure that you're making very small movements with your fingers. I'm really just pulling my fingertip into my palm a little bit. There's no extra movement happening here with my picking hand. Everything is happening with that middle knuckle, just pulling my finger slightly, and nice light attack on the strings. So when we do this, I'll be counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's just try this together. We're going to go really slow just to kind of dip our toes in the water of finger picking here. No fretting, just kind of hold the neck with your hand, and I'll give us a 4 count in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now just you. Great. Let's get into our first chord progression. So the first chords that we're going to use are G. It's on the 3rd fret. We have G major 7, just descending down to the 2nd fret, G7, and then we finish off here with a C major chord. So we're going to do each of these 2 times through the finger picking pattern. So when I refer to 1 time through the pattern in this situation, it's as we go P, I, P, M. That equals 1 time. So when we play this G chord twice, it'll sound like this. Just making sure we're all on the same page. So here we go. We're going to do this 2 times per chord. We'll go through this a few times, so just relax, get yourself in good playing position, and let's have some fun with this first pattern. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and switch. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 to the C. Back to G. 3 and 4. Make sure you're smiling, playing some baritone. Life is good. Here we go one more time. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. We're going to ramp up the level of difficulty just a little bit here for our second progression. So we'll start off with an A minor chord. We'll move down to a D7 chord. So you can just use that index finger to pivot down to the D7. Slide on over to the G. And then we finish off with our E minor here with the middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. So we're going to do the same thing 2 times per chord. Finger picking pattern. Make sure you're in nice playing position as we get going here. I'll give us a 4 count in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and switch to the G, E minor, back to A minor, D, G, E minor. One more time. For our third progression, we're going to level it up a little bit in difficulty. We're going to start off with a B major chord, which I'm playing by barring the top 3 strings with my ring finger. You could also use middle, ring, and pinky to do that same chord. And then we have an F sharp chord, which I'm using ring, middle, and barring the bottom 2 strings with my index. And then I go to an A major, which I'm playing middle, ring, and pinky. You could also play index, middle, and ring. And then I finish off with E major, played with my middle and my index finger. So again, we'll do 2 times through the picking pattern for each one of those chords. I'll give us a 4 count in. Let's have some fun with it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Back to the B. F sharp, A, and E. Do you guys know what song this is from? Because I can't figure it out, but it sounds familiar. Sounds good though. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Let's do it one more time. You guys got this. Home stretch. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Well, I hope hope you guys had fun with our first lesson here today. Again, I want to mention for the rest of the series, jump over to AllForUKe.com. You can check out the rest of the series where we have PDFs, practice tracks that go along with all of these lessons. I've also included a free PDF for this lesson that you can get from the website. Super cool. There's a lot of resources there for you to enjoy if you just pop in your email. I also just want to say, let us know where you're playing your uke around the world. Are you playing baritone? Are you playing standard? Let me know in the comments below. And share with us any experience that you have in music or how long you've been playing. I love hearing from you guys. I love learning more about the All4U community. My name's Kevin. Thank you so much for learning with me. I'll see you next time.
Meet me down by the seaside. We can howl at the moon rise. Watch as the tide strolls in.